JT here. Let me share a little bit of truth with you today. Challenges, struggles, and obstacles will always be a part of the game of life. They will come up from time to time. Successful people understand this, but they realize that what you do in those moments is always in your control. So next time you're experiencing a struggle or challenge or obstacle, this is what I want you to do to help navigate it. Say, thank you, I am great, and I am blessed. And that simple reminder will connect you back to your truth and remind you that you are in control. Have an amazing rest of your day.
Humans have a tendency to suffer over and over and over again for the same perceived infraction, especially empathetic, caring people, the people that you and I would like to hang around. These people, we run the risk of punishing ourselves multiple times for one thing. Hey, you made a mistake. Pay for it once, take a breath, and move on. It's over. Done. No more recycling these memories of transgressions so that we can just stay in that negative loop. There's a big, beautiful, glorious, shining world out there. Let's experience it.
But as you get more accustomed to recognizing what awareness is in you, you'll find that nothing can pull you as awareness. Nothing at all. And when you come here, you're back in your original power, your original being. And all that we talk about, all the problems in life, all the problems in the world, you have transcended them. You have transcended them. You cannot transcend them while you're in the state where you are identified on that realm. You see, you can make little changes, but not of the proportion that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the dropping of the tree, the cutting of the tree itself, of suffering, the recognition of your own timeless and timelessly perfect self. This is what I'm speaking here in satsang.
You see, the problem is this. We identify in our experience a differentiation between what we do and what happens to us. We have a certain number of actions that we define as voluntary, and we feel in control of those. And then over against that, there is all those things that are involuntary. But the dividing line between these two is very arbitrary. Because, for example, when you move your hand, you feel that you decide whether to open it or to close it. But then ask yourself, how do you decide? When you decide to open your hand, do you first decide to decide? You don't, do you? You just decide, and how do you do that? And if you don't know how you do it, is it voluntary or involuntary? Let's consider breathing. You can feel that you breathe deliberately. You can control your breath. But when you don't think about it, it goes on. Is it voluntary or involuntary? And so we come to have a very arbitrary definition of self. That much of my activity which I feel I do. And that then doesn't include breathing most of the time. It doesn't include the heartbeats. It doesn't include the activity of the glands. It doesn't include digestion. It doesn't include how you shape your bones, circulate your blood. Do you or do you not do these things? Now, if you get with yourself and you find out that you are all of yourself.
So, I have been in the past, but I will continue to be in the future, I'm sure, very into Bruce Lee. I don't believe in looking up to people, but just his teaching relating to martial arts is very important. His teaching is not to have a style, no style. And in that, of having no style, you're open to all the possibilities of different types of movement, of reliability but unpredictability, and therefore able to adapt to anything. And so his philosophy is that should be the same with your life. But the only thing that's stopping that is ego, because we get identified and stuck.
What's that? You forgot you had an infinite amount of knowledge within? Let me show you. Previously, we talked about how the only thing you can be 100% sure of is that you are aware, and I've seen a few comments that said, what if awareness is an illusion? Well, you're aware of that possibility. This is what Descartes said when he said, I think, therefore I am, which birthed solipsism, but you can go so much deeper. To begin what I mean, let's use this dot to represent awareness. Let's now use the space of this whiteboard as a list of things that we're sure of, starting with awareness. So we know that we have awareness, but that's it, right? Well, hold on a second. Not only are we aware, but we're aware that we're aware. So not only is awareness a truth, but so is awareness of awareness. But once you realize awareness is a truth, you realize self-awareness is a truth, and awareness of that, 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 and awareness of that. But you can also be aware of awareness while simultaneously being aware of the fact that you're aware of awareness. This is what is meant by sacred geometry, when your very own field of awareness can combine with itself in infinitely more ways than there are particles in the universe.
Good and bad is determined by whoever you are looking up to, and it can switch from person to person. So instead of looking at the world as good and bad, look at the world as positive and negative, positivity and negativity. For example, society and dogmatic religions will have you feeling like self-love is a bad thing. And we know that self-love is a positive thing. When you love self, you love others because you see others as self. We are all one. But if someone tells you that self-love is bad, you will go through life not loving yourself. And if you do not love yourself, you cannot really love at all. So don't waste your time trying to figure out what's good and bad, depending on people's personal opinions. Look at positivity. If it's spreading love and it's spreading light, it's positive. If it's not, then it's negative. And we're all humans that crave love.
So right now, if you're feeling kind of icky, stop making that the problem. So much of what's keeping that feeling in place is the resistance to the experience that you're having right now. The experience may be icky, maybe kind of painful, whatever. Before you do anything, stop making it the problem.
In the next 60 seconds, you'll become more empathetic and calm, even if you have an anger problem. So I'm not a Christian, but understanding this one verse in the Bible helped me take my anger problems and pretty much completely get rid of them. Many times in my comment section, as well as coworkers, friends, family, everyone always says that I have a very calm energy about me and that doesn't seem like anything really bothers me. But I wasn't always like that. I had an anger problem growing up due to trauma, abuse, and bullying through school. But this one verse, Luke 23:34, when Jesus was being crucified and he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That verse alone right there stuck with me, and any time that either it's road rage or someone does something that I just don't like or agree with, you never know what's going on in somebody else's life. You never know the level of awareness that somebody else is at. Everyone is living their own life, everyone is their own main character in their own movie, and everyone is just trying to do the best as they can with what they can. And people can only operate at the level of awareness that they're currently at. Full podcast episode on this, link in bio.
Hey, let's try an experiment. You heard of the pink elephant experiment, correct? If you haven't, let's give it a shot. I'll tell you what it is. So basically, don't think of a pink elephant right now. Don't do it. Do not think of a pink elephant. What did you do? Probably thought of the pink elephant. Now let's switch it. Do not, and I repeat, do not think of the greatest version of yourself. Don't do it. Don't think of the greatest version of yourself. Do not think of that outcome actually playing out the way that you want it to. What did I say? I said do not. I said do not think of that outcome actually playing out the way that you want it to. Don't do it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Now stay in that state of being. I fucking love you.